Welcome, Caffeinds, Caffriends, as Perk likes to say, to the supplemental episode attachment to Caffein's Cast 16. If you're just watching this after the live show, congratulations, you've stayed up too late, because I definitely don't get these up on time. We just had Deflawless live on our channel at twitch.tv/caffeines. He's great. Go check him out at twitch.tv/deflawless. But there's a huge bombshell twab, and whenever there's like a big bunch of Destiny news, your boys gotta talk about it. So we did some after hours work. We are opening our office hours. Welcome, Professor Perk, and it's me who produces. So let's just get into it. Let's just get into it. Shout out to Philly D. But yeah, so if you're watching this on YouTube, you might be watching it before our episode goes live because we are Twitch affiliates and we're not allowed to send our stuff live until 24 hours after the show. So here we are looking at the TWAB, the TWAB. This week at Bungie. This week at Bungie, got a sweet tooth for loot. Boo! Did I scare you? Probably not. But hey, it's Festival of the Lost. Things are feeling, you know what? Fuck it. We're going past this.
No. I want you to, go finish it. Nope. Right. You started something. You started something. You have to finish it.
Apologies to DMG. Did I scare you? Probably not. But hey, it's Festival of the Lost. Things are feeling a bit spookier than usual. I can't take a turn in the tower without running into a guardian dressed for the occasion. Evil Levante has returned, masks and all. If you missed the rundown on our spooky seasonal event last week, be sure to read last week's blog article. Featured Ghost, Ball, Mummy, Traveler, Chains, Zavala. Tuesday kicked off with the Festival of the Lost, but we've also unveiled a few treats, not tweets, but they were, tweeted.
A little bit.
A few treats that will be coming your way in November. Beyond Light is opening the doors to Europa and renewing your quest for sweet, precious loot. Shout out to More Console. In case you missed it, check out our weapons and gear page on Bungie.net and the trailer. Dude, there was a whole page that we didn't go over in the show today.
I know. Imagine that.
Imagine. We dropped the ball.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Trump the engram on that one.
Anyway. Okay. We did not make the rift goal. Wait a second. We're giving warlocks what? Gauntlets that spread poison through hordes of enemies? I want some. The ability to shift using Mask of Bacchus looks pretty sweet for hunters. In just a little over a month, you may find your new favorite exotic in the wild, and you'll also hate Titans for their ability to get an overshield whenever they want. Today, we've got a lot to cover, including changes coming to armor mods, the kickoff to our Festival of the Lost art and fashion shows, and more. Let's get started where it all began. The Cosmodrome. Straight out of the Cosmodrome! Yes. Burn bright like a diamond.
Never.
What?
Never again. It's never.
Okay.
It's never again. I can't. I'm going to throw up. So this is one. I mean, they're showing the steps in the Cosmodrome, which has me pretty turned up because I love Cosmodrome, as everybody knows.
Tell me about it.
Cosmodrome was one of the places. Did you know that there was a loot cave in the Cosmodrome? It's behind me right here. It's behind me right here. It's a loot cave. It was a magical place, as you could see. Never has there ever been anything so beautifully glowing as the Cosmodrome's loot cave. It lit up itself just with ammo and engrams, and you're zooming in way too far on my face. But anyway, it's definitely a thing. But anyway, I mean, this is a great place to start. Also, I just checked the site that you were talking about, like the weapons page. It literally, I'm almost inclined to think that they watched our podcast and grabbed what we said, because it's literally just them going kind of over.
Did we just assume everything? Are we?
Yeah.
Can we read the future?
Yeah, we literally did. We assume everything.
We make an ass out of you and me.
I know, it's fine.
Anyway,
it's good.
So one of the things we did talk about on the podcast was the new player experience, and one of the things they talked about in the TWAB is the new player experience. Over the last year, there's been a lot of great feedback about the new player experience in Destiny 2. Currently, players are given a single mission to become acquainted with some basic gameplay and then let loose in the tower without much direction on where to go or what to do next. This led to some confusion, as many players didn't know exactly where to start. Who's that robot that meticulously cleans an auto rifle? What do I do with these engrams? And what's a Zavala? Why does Amanda Holiday have all of the campaigns?
She won't anymore.
What's Prime Gaming rewards? As D Flawless found out today.
Prime Game?
So the team's been hard at work to restructure the on-ramp for Destiny 2, and today we'll be giving a small glimpse of the New Light experience. Starting on November 10th, players will start in the same way that most of us all have. A ghost will be on the hunt for their guardian. They'll stumble upon you, and they'll revive you for the first time.
Eyes up, Guardian.
What's different now is hold on.
Thanks, Bane.
Major difference.
Yeah.
My
What could-
guardian.
There.
No. Fuck this guy for a second.
No.
My ghost.
That was dope.
My ghost was voiced by Peter Dinklage.
My ghost was as well. I'm
Major
with
different.
you. I'm all in for the dink.
So anyway, what's different now is that you won't immediately find a ship. Rather, you'll stumble onto another guardian in the wild. This cool looking guy, he's a hunter. He's got a Kvass stuff. He's got, what is that, young Ahamkara's spine?
Young Am Cars. He's got a cool little helmet. He's vibing. He's standing in the room where you get the ship. Like I can tell by the backdrop that's the room.
Spent many hours in that room. His
yeah.
name is Shahan.
Okay.
And he's on a mission with his fire team to investigate what the Hive are up to in the Cosmodrome. He'll show you the ropes and help you find your way among the gameplay and systems of Destiny 2. It actually kind of makes sense because, you know, we took that ship. That ship ain't there anymore. If you're a new Guardian, why are you there? That's not where a ship is. You don't get that.
Yeah, that's not where ships are. You don't get that.
Anyway.
You can't have that.
Moving on, as a new player, you'll spend your first few missions getting acquainted with the state of the world in Destiny 2. You'll have the opportunity to take a few weapons out for a spin, find engrams to try different armor, and see our progression systems, and have some time to learn how to navigate the user interface, understand quests, bounties, collections, and more. All of this will happen before you set foot in the tower, and our hope is that this refreshed New Light experience will give a much warmer welcome to Guardians as they play Destiny 2 for the first time. Oh, I love this. I just love the Cosmodrome. We've already waxed poetic about it on the podcast today.
We do wax poetically about the Cosmodrome, but I think it's one of those things where it kind of is its own. It is a perfect introduction to Destiny.
It's the cradle of life for Destiny.
It really is. It has this rusted, sort of creepy feel to it. Anytime that you get to tread the ground where humanity has been and is kind of evacuated, or is kind of just left as a thing long gone, it's cool. I don't know. There's really nothing more to even say than that. It's just cool. It's just simple. So the Cosmodrome gives you that feel. It introduces you to the Fallen and the Hive. Lets the Vex develop kind of further. I'm really excited. I honestly, I have so many friends that started playing. I'm envious that I can't introduce them to this version of Destiny, and then I kind of had to go and sort of pick up the put things together myself for them. But I think this is dope, and I'm really excited to see. I was trying to think of how they would do it, what would actually be a good experience for new players to jump into without losing kind of the tower and why you're there and why the other tower is in ruins, etc., etc. So I think this is great. Just having them spend a little more time in the Cosmodrome. Perfect. I see this as an absolute win.
All right.
So
Professor Hulk.
Yes.
So yeah, I think for me, coming back to the Cosmodrome, there's so much that's happened, not only in year one, but then when we came back from Rise of Iron. I know personally, my wife doesn't play any video games at all, but when I got her convinced enough to try and make a character, watching her try to figure out how to move with the dual sticks and just run around the Cosmodrome attempting to punch the spider tank, bro, some of the best moments I remember. I can't wait to make her attempt to do that again as we force her to play Destiny with us in the future. That's great. And the New Light players definitely deserved a better step forward. So I'm really excited to see how the Shahan character kicks off, what sort of ramifications that will have for the story at large, because he's a hunter. We're missing a hunter vanguard. Is this the guy? Let's find out.
Maybe we'll kind of have a couple of little stepping stones, a couple of cool hunters that we end up liking, where they're oh man, it would be cool if this person would be cool, that person.
What if there was
build the relationship a little bit?
What if there was a poll between all the hunter players in the game that's yo, who do you want? Shiro 4? Andal Brask? Wait, no, he's dead.
That should be something that is actually voted on in the game, as a community, realistically.
Mm-hmm.
That's how they should do it with something like that. Imagine if we made donations to a certain section, in a tower, hey, vote at this podium, deposit your motes or whatever you collect for a season into this podium, and that counts as a vote. Kind of the same way we did for Guardian games. So just have it be like a thing like that, right?
Oh my God, it's a moat vote.
Moat vote, dude. Hashtag moat vote. Like seriously, like
vote.
we should throw this idea out because I feel like that would be kind of cool. Like then they can kind of build a character. And this is, of course, this is assuming that they haven't already decided anything like that, right?
Yeah.
We can have them just kind of like figure out what they, you get a vote, you see community feedback, and going, hey, I was there when we voted for whoever took Cade's spot, and then they
was there.
They can record some voice lines or do whatever. There's a lot of options with something like that, and I feel like that would be such a cool little like connection to the community if we were able to do something like that.
Bro, but what if Cade comes back on Europa? We never know. We don't even know if the Vanguard's going to exist.
I'm down.
We're speculating. We're supposed to be twabbing.
What if Cade's the raid boss? Let's go.
Cade
8. Kate, just Kate.
Or it's Ace. You just gotta fight a gun, Ace of Spades.
God.
Anyway, with the Cosmodrome coming out of the Destiny content vault, this gave us the perfect opportunity to overhaul our new player experience. For veteran players out there, this will be a stroll through memory lane. While the plague lands are strictly quarantined per Vanguard orders, you'll still be able to explore much of what you remember from your first days as a Guardian. Running through the moth yards to collect spin metal, heading down the stairs with the steps to face off against powerful Hive Knights, and more. There will be occasionally moments of discovery, like stumbling upon a lost sector you haven't seen before. Hell yeah. If you're an existing player waiting to go through the new light quests, you'll also be able to do that on November 10th.
I'm so happy to hear that.
We're excited to see how new players react to our revamped new light experience, and for many of you to get your boots back on the ground in the Cosmodrome.
Hey, Zip Guardian.
I don't know. I can't do
Thanks,
do
Bane.
North North.
Thanks, Bane. Appreciate it. Mod modifications. This is
Nobody cared who I was, so I put on the Ghost Shell.
Sure.
All right. Yes, this is the big one.
This is the juice. This is the juice. Go for it.
Here we go. Mod modifications. We're a little over a month from Beyond Light. 33 days to be precise. We have quite a bit to cover between now and then, from sandbox updates to how your various economies are being updated. Sandbox is always a hot topic of discussion. Today we'll be diving a bit deeper into the ways you customize your gameplay experience through armor mods. Armor mods are used to elevate your reload speeds, ability regen, and more to higher levels. In November, some of the mods you commonly use are being tuned. So the mods will be buffed, while others will be removed altogether. Here we're going to dive into a patch note preview of sorts, with snippets of developer commentary from the development team throughout. Energy type requirements. All of the weapon-oriented armor mods, i.e. hand cannon loader, fusion rifle ammo finder, etc., have been changed to any energy type. As a result of the above change, all arc charged with light mods are now activated. Now activate their second perk if you have any other arc mod equipped on the same armor piece, or if you have any other arc charged with light mod socketed in any other armor piece you are wearing. Developer commentary. Removing the energy type requirements from weapon-focused mods has been a consistent piece of community feedback since Armor 2.0 launched. However, doing so meant that every mod socket would be displaying 3 times as many mods at the same time, which would be cumbersome.
That makes sense. That would be kind of a really annoying trait to have to go back to and fix and adjust for all that stuff. Yeah, imagine if they did that. I'm definitely glad to see them consolidate. We were talking about this a lot, right? I was even saying, like, at worst, having a classification of the elements. And again, I always relate this because we've got a lot of new friends that are playing Destiny with us. And they're like, hey, why is it that I need to have like grenade launcher element armor if I want, or if I have void element armor if I want grenade launchers? And I'm like, yeah, it's got nothing really to do with grenade launchers themselves. It's just sort of a way to categorize it, just to make you have to kind of like hunt and peck and spend a little more materials. And initially I was fine with it because I'm like, it's just, it's just a way for you to sink some mats into the system and stuff. But ultimately, it just wastes time. Like, what does the game need you to do that? It doesn't. It's not necessary for it. You know what I mean?
I mean, it's not the fun part of Destiny for sure.
It's not. It's literally just like a super basic like requirement for the sake of being a requirement.
What it is it's an attempt at like RPGifying, the game. Right. And Destiny has always straddled this line of being like classic RPG and being its own game. And like, for what it's worth, that's sort of a great thing. Like, the culture of Destiny sort of stands on its own. No one else has really done first-person raids the way that they have. and we love Destiny all the more for it. Going back to what the developer commentary was, though, you might be asking yourself, wait, hold up. If they're removing this requirement, but the commentary said the reason why they didn't was that you'd have to go through so many mods, well, what's happening? I'll tell you what's happening. Enhanced mod rebalancing. All mods that have an enhanced version of that mod, for example, enhanced hand cannon loader rather, have had the base mod's efficacy increased to match that of the enhanced version of the mod. As a result, those enhanced mods have been deprecated, and the base mods' energy costs have been adjusted upwards slightly, but are still lower than the equivalent enhanced mods. Some mods have been moved to different slots to create more competition for mod sockets across armor pieces. For example, the fast ready mods have been moved to the arm socket. Developer commentary. We consistently see feedback that players often don't start feeling the impact of mods until they have an enhanced mod or two non-enhanced mods socketed. So to resolve both of those issues, we decided to raise the floor on the effectiveness of all mods to the point where the players were more likely to feel their impact and deprecate the two tiers of mods. This should also make having two different mods in the same category, say hand cannon loader and shotgun loader, socketed at the same time, more appealing than it was previously, when players often needed to double stack the same mod to feel like they were getting any benefit. In essence, we're making enhanced mods cheaper and more accessible, and deprecating the lesser mods. For those of you who don't know what deprecating means, they gone.
They gone. I really do. I like this a little bit. I think one of the things that even like a lot of our veterans, we've had to, some that were just kind of taking a break or came back and they were like, by the way, yeah, like, why can I stack two mods and like, is it worth it? And it's just like, yeah, like it is worth it, but technically it's only worth it to go with literally, I know for grenade launchers, for reloads, for mountaintop, you want one enhanced and one normal, just because your return on investment for the slot that two enhanced would take isn't worth it. And like, yeah. That's stupid. Like, that's confusing. Like, why is that some weird thing that you're only going to find in some random Reddit thread or on, a couple of
Crucible Playbook,
Crucible Playbook, or look, the PvP YouTubers and stuff. Yeah. They cover that stuff. But so you've got to really get down there kind of in the weeds to discover something that arguably isn't something like having your maximum reload speed for a weapon is not something that should be like niche. That should be a main part and something that the game guides you to do.
It's definitely a choice that you need to be able to make. But one of my favorite things as a consumer of YouTube content about Destiny is watching Fallout Plays lose his mind every time like a change is made, and he just goes down this rabbit hole. And I think I just watched a video about like mods that he did, so I can only imagine how mad he is like seeing this. But
Fallout Plays cool guy are my go-tos for PvP.
Nice definitely. Dudes all around. That said, you're probably asking yourself, okay, cool, I got rid of a lot of mods, literally half. Can we go more? Can we kill even more mods? My answer to this is yes. Raid mods. Starting in Season 12, The Last Wish, Garden of Salvation, and the upcoming Beyond Light raid armors will now drop with a 5th dedicated armor mod socket that is exclusively for the mods related to that raid. Last Wish and Gardens of Salvation armor acquired prior to Season 12 will not have this dedicated armor slot, but will still be able to use the mods related to that raid in that new Legacy armor mod socket. Anti-Taken mods from Last Wish will only function in the Last Wish raid. Anti-Hive mods from the Leviathan raid, deleted. Anti-Fallen raid mods from Scourge of the Past, sharded. Developer commentary. The decision to give the raid armors a 5th mod socket dedicated solely to its raid mod should not only make the raid armors a more valuable reward, but should also compensate for the restriction on the usage of these raid mods with the ability to use that armor to craft or build both in and out of the raid. This is something we've been saying for a long time. Love it. Regarding the deprecation of anti-Hive and anti-Fallen mods and the restriction of the anti-Taken mods to Last Wish, this is something that we've had our eye on for a while. We consistently get feedback that faction-specific mods are highly unbalanced outside of the content they were intended to work in this case the raids, which are being moved into the content vault, because these are useful with any instance of a combatant race. Activity designers and sandbox designers are consistently and constantly having to be aware of how these mods would impact the play of those activities. They've been proven to be problematic in Gambit, creating a clear divide between the haves and the have-nots, and has significantly reduced the challenge of dungeons. With raids that provide the source of these mods going into the content vault, With the raids that provided the source of these mods going into the content vault provides.
Yeah, it's a typo. It's fine.
Okay. We have the opportunity to gracefully remove these mods and their long-reaching consequences. Last Wish, which was designed and balanced with its anti-taken mods in mind, will remain a part of the game and continue to reward players with its mods. However, to prevent those far-reaching consequences mentioned above, we are aligning those mods with other raid mods and making them function only in the raid that they drop from. We've had a positive response to the more mechanic-focused mods from Garden of Salvation, and future raids will have more mods like those.
So let's talk about that for a second. Like,
Yeah.
I think that is, I have a twofold response to it, right? We were talking about this because we're going to be going into the raids and we're going to kind of be finishing up with the rest of our clan, right? It makes me a little bit annoyed that I'm not going to bother with like hunting down like my perfect rolls while we do that. That's going to be a little bit of a bonus that I'm no longer going to have, which I assume is them looking at it going, do we want more players to play our raids now, or do we want them to play these activities when the new content's out? And of course, you want them to play when the new content's out. That's an easy answer. The other thing that I'll say is this is really good. I hope we get to a point with Destiny, because I'm done being upset about changes to armor and like tweaks that make certain things like the versions that you have less valuable. I'm kind of done being upset about that, and I just kind of am at the point where I'm hoping we get to a point where we can know what to expect from gear and mods and what it entails, right? But the other hand of this is that this goes back more to how Destiny 1 raid mods worked. You know what I mean? So for I'm trying to remember, I know for the guns, for the Vault of Glass, they did more damage to oracles and stuff like that, right? So with the Taken mods, with them saying the whole spiel about it, you know, it makes more sense for it to align the Taken mods with the Dreaming City and that raid, Last Wish. Yeah, you know, you don't want people to have to go hunting one activity to go have the maximum time in another, meaning soloing dungeons and stuff like that. Because that was the big thing. It was like, oh, hey, get all the mods just so that, you know, you have a better time doing this. When players who just want to do that activity going, well, now I have to put a raid team together to go to help me farm these mods so that I can do this solo activity. You know what I mean? Like it makes more sense in terms of like an activity flow, because there are players that don't want to be part of a clan, that don't want to need a clan to play Destiny. You know, maybe they're not on time with anyone that's from their time zone. Maybe they don't want to bother with the social element of the game. They shouldn't have to go and farm a part of the game that they don't want to play to go and then have the best experience in another. Do you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
It's good, but it's also a little bit annoying. But I'm also just like, at this point, unless armor blows me away, I just shard it at this point. Like I have 106 stat helmet from Trials. I'll keep that one like forever because it's a Trials helmet. Unless they become ornaments, I want that in my vault for, you know, the look. But I think it's going to go away in
a year.
The spring. Yeah, I think it's 1310. So it's one of those things where it's interesting, but it's also a little bit exhausting. I like this, then this is good, but my hot take is that it still adds into the exhaustion that I feel from having to be forced to like re-go and get the same gear over and over and over and over again. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like unless they're going to also, and they didn't say this, unless they're making that look a universal ornament, because the Last Wish raid armor is sick. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean,
so like,
I don't know, man. Like this to me is like, those mods are definitely a mistake to have ever been put in, and like I'm glad that now I don't have to farm Scourge for Fallen mods, and I don't have to farm Garden for Hive mods. Like I'm really happy that I don't have to do that. That said, if you're trying to solo Flawless Prophecy, fucking you gotta do it in the next 33 days.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Or it's gonna get real hard.
Yep. You don't want to do that for that emblem. I don't know.
I mean, Prophecy is not even gonna be like accessible.
It's not gonna be in right away. Yeah.
But I mean, for this, like, it's a good correction. Absolutely.
Yeah, because the way that the mods functioned in Garden of Salvation is awesome. They only matter with the tethers. You know what I mean? And adding, I was always annoyed I was always annoyed that took up a slot. I'm like, let me have that other slot there. So like, I like the way that they did that. I think that's a good change.
Cool.
But it's, still a little annoying.
Did you know it's not the only mod change? There's another mod change.
I know. Let's do it.
About it. Combat mods. All armor released in Beyond Light in Season 12, all Last Wish and Garden Salvation armor acquired starting in Season 12, and all Armor 2.0 exotic pieces, including those already possessed by players, will have a combat-style mod socket. In Season 12, this socket will accept all Charged with Light and Warmind cell mods. Fuck yeah.
Ooh.
All Armor 2.0 acquired during Seasons 8 through 11 have had their seasonal mod sockets replaced with a single unified legacy mod socket that can socket all Charged with Light mods, all Warmind Cell mods, and all Nightmare Hunt mods, all Garden of Salvation mods, and all Last Wish mods.
Mod socket.
Can I get an amen in chat? Fuck
Mod
yeah.
socket. That's all I'm going to be saying.
Great.
Just the hot pocket jingle set to.
If you bite into a mod
socket.
socket, is it also lava?
Yeah, probably. Mod socket.
So yeah, with that, we've come to the end of our armor mod patch note preview. In the coming weeks, we'll shift focus to your arsenal. We have a handful of weapon archetypes that are being tuned, along with some hefty changes that may surprise you. Stay tuned. Okay, let's just talk about the combat mods. Like this is something we've been asking for forever, 5 even. Warmind cell builds turned out to be really, really, really useful, especially in the beginning of this season. A lot of people still don't fucking use them, which blows my mind. Yeah, you're missing out, dude. Warmind cell builds are the shit.
I literally, do you want to know why I stopped? Do you want to know why I didn't give a shit about it at all? Here's the thing. Like, I barely played during last season because I hated it, right? And I was just like, all right, fine. It's, it's a spring expansion. I was busy with all that shit anyway. I was like, catch me outside next season, right? That was generally the consensus from a lot of players. That the last season with the Warmind was unequivocally one of the worst seasons in Destiny.
Oh,
period.
Yeah.
That honestly felt worse than the wait for House of Wolves, which was a rough wait for a lot of people. That season, nothing kind of got me down about Destiny more than that season did. And I love Rasputin and his lore, and I love Anna Bray and that whole thing. So these characters and things that I like, just that was the pure proof is that I love the lore and I love everything about it, but I just hated the exact mechanicalness of it. So that's the reason why I never bothered with the Warmind cells, because I was like, they're going to get retired at a certain point. I'm not going to be able to use them. So why am I going to bother? You know what I mean? But now we got mod socket.
Wrong.
I might, that's good.
Wrong.
That's wrong. Dude, I like this. I think this is good.
Great. I mean, there's no bad side to this change.
There's no bad side to it, because do you want to know what it is now? Now I'm going to go and I'm going to get a good roll of that SMG from the Umbrella Engrams. Now I have something to spend these stupid points that are going to get deleted at the end of the season anyway. I have thousands of them.
You want to know something really cool, actually?
Yeah.
You always had that reason to do that. Bah, got him.
And do you know how many engrams that I've deleted, that I've just thrown away?
Yeah, I know, me too. But the roll of that SMG, those builds that you can do with it, well,
now I've got a reason to.
So they weren't really that great until this season as well, because you have Falling Guillotine, Guillotine. You had the Lucent Blade Charged with Light mod combined with the other Charged with Light mods combined with Global Reach. It is a fantastic crescendoing of how that system fanned out. The seasons that those mods came out in, really tough to get through. The mods themselves, really fucking useful.
They were good. I made sure to pick them up just because I like having, things completed in my book of stuff. But yeah, I mean, now I've got an entire reason now to kind of go and check that out and to see what that's all about and stuff. So this is good. This is good.
So next on the TWAB is art and fashion shows. We can skip. Do we want to talk about bugs?
Nah.
Huh?
Nah. These emblems are tight.
I do want to talk about something.
Yeah.
If you have a PC character that was on Battle.net, did you know that you could actually still transfer to this day? I thought there was only a short window, but so if you still have a Battle.net character in D2 and you haven't transferred it to Steam for whatever reason, December 1st is your cutoff, December 1st, 2020. You will not be able to migrate your account from Battle.net to Steam, in the great Activision schism. So if you, for some reason, have played in like year 1 or even year 2 of Destiny, did not want to play in year 3 for whatever, just do it. Destiny is free now on Steam, like free to play to like at least migrate your stuff. And if you get
A lot of great content.
if you get Games Pass, then it's just more stuff to do, and you can join us here at the Caffeinds. Just like we hinted at in our live show, guys, we are doing a sort of recruitment drive here. Go ahead and click the links below to join our Discord. Join us in our prep for Beyond Light. We're helping as many people as we can get all the exotics, legendaries, and catalysts that they did not have. Now we don't have to do that with armor mods, thank God, because the drop rates were shit.
Yeah.
But
That was terrible.
we're here to help you guys. We want to get to know you guys, play with you some more. So with that, join the Discord, hang out with us, and catch our podcast live every Thursday at 7 p.m. Eastern at twitch.tv/caffeines. Also, check out our Spotify, subscribe, leave a 5-star review, and thank you.
And our website next week, starting caffeines.gg.
What kind of content can you find out?
You can find a repository of all of our content, our blog posts, our internal thoughts, our different things that we discuss with our community, all together and archived in one nice, neat place.
If you want to download the half of milkshake that Perk has been keeping in his freezer, you can do that at caffeines.gg when it launches before our next podcast. That'll be episode 17 next week. We'll see you there.